there, guys, girls, gamers, everyone. It's me, GenuineParts, and we are back in If My Heart Had Wings. I just, because of the sprite lingering, just a little chat. I contacted someone who thinks he can help me. Or she can help me, I don't know. Don't worry, I get it sorted, okay? So we are just in a flight simulator, trying out how the glider works. And we're surprised that flight simulators exist in the real world, apparently. So, yes. The horizon in the middle of the screen leans to the right.
操縦桿を倒すとどうして機体が傾くの?
Well, it's the little things on the wings. How is it called? No, the aileron? I don't know.
いい質
Good
問だ。
question. Oh,
それは操縦桿でエルロンを操作しているからだ。
ailerons. Yeah, that's how you say that, I guess. Oh,
エルロン?
she confirms it. It's like Couturier has a big question mark on her face as she hears that unfamiliar word. It's not easy to say either.
主翼についている補助翼のことだ。主翼の外側の後ろについていて、操縦桿を左に倒せば左翼のエルロンが上がり、右翼そうすると左翼の揚力は減少。逆に右翼の揚力は増大するから、機体は左にバンク、つまり傾いて旋回をする。
Leaning and turning, huh? It's the same as a bicycle. Oh, you have found your calling again. A bicycle has a handlebar, but you don't turn by moving it left or right, you turn by leaning against the bike. Well, actually, you turn by moving it left or right. Kinda. Maybe I've been riding bikes all wrong. I mean, if you go high speed in a corner, then you have to lean.
操縦桿を使ったもう一つの操作、ピッチングについてだが、ピッチングとは、要は機首を上げ下げする動きのことだ。操縦桿を後ろに引けば頭が上がり、前に倒せば下がる。
I tried pushing the yoke. Whoa! Nothing happened on my screen. The screen moves and the percentage of the screen filled with the ground increases. There's no ground. The aircraft points downwards and I feel a much greater sense of speed. Well, that's because you speed up.
機首を下に向けると機体は下降していくが、その分速度が増す。
I explained that to my wheels the last episode. I see. I'm imagining it sliding down on the air. Well, you wouldn't be wrong. This time I tried pulling the yoke back. I was no longer able to see the horizon. It felt like it was floating and I realized the speed was dropping.
これはどうやって操作しているの? またさっきのエルロン?
I don't know how they are called. But they are on the back of the wing, the back and the tail.
いや違う。以前紙飛行機で実験しただろ。機体の上下の動きを制御していたのは。
When Couturier was playing around with the tails on the paper airplane, she made one do a beautiful loop-de-loop.
あ、水平尾翼!
Yeah, the horizontal tailplane. Amanda nods her head as if to say, well done.
ピッチング。つまり上下の動きは水平尾翼についたエレベーターという舵で操作する。
And the vertical tailplane is what controls the left and right. Of course, we've heard of an elevator before, but this was different to the type that goes up and down in buildings. Oh yeah, elevators. That's what they are called.
通常機首を上げれば揚力は高まる。
In other words, the aircraft will rise.
だが上げすぎると逆に揚力を失うことになる。気流が翼面に沿って流れることができなくなり、剥離してしまうからだ。
And that's not exactly how it works. It's the plane slows down, and as soon as the plane has slowed down too much, the airflow around the the wings isn't enough to lift the plane anymore, and so you stall.
この現象をストールという。揚力を失うとどうなるかは説明するまでもないな。
Yeah, but that's the airspeed, and stall is much more dangerous because you kind of plummet to the earth in the position you're in. You have to bring the nose forward and gain speed so you get lift again. You can't fly when there's no lift, and it will inevitably fall. Yes, that's true.
そうなったらもう落ちるしかないんですか？
No, you push the nose down.
いや、立て直すことは可能だ。ストールはどんな時にも起こり得るから、ストールからの回復訓練はしっかり積んでおく必要がある。
Okay. When it is suggested that falling is a possibility, I find it hard to breathe. Well, you're in a plane. Plane fall down from the sky all the time. When you're flying through the air, even a tiny mistake can cost you your life.
試しに一度落ちてみようか。
Huh? And now we have again in the cockpit. I'm sorry, I get on getting that fixed. Amane pulls back hard on the analog stick. The nose points further and further upwards, and then
臨界無改革を超えた。ストールしたぞ。
what? The aircraft stopped moving as if it was floating, then the screen started spinning like crazy as it began hurling towards the ground. Game over. That's a nice music. That's a nice touching. That's a nice touch.
ゲームオーバーって。とまあこんな感じだ。訓練ではわざとストールやスピンを起こしてそこから回復する練習をするんだ。実際に空でやると怖いぞ。死ぬかと思うぞ。
And if you have enough like height, it's not a problem. A problem begins when you stall close to the ground because you have no time to regain speed. And that's when the ground becomes your biggest enemy. If you're scared of heights, maybe that really is true. Because of how well the simulation is made, I got a powerful enough impression just from the graphics. Graphics aren't everything. Oh, come on, Agia, get out of the way! Amanda selects the mode, and once again we start flying.
で、次はラダーペダル。
In the simulator, this is controlled with the L and R buttons.
これはラダーを操作するわけだが、ラダーとは日本語で方向だという垂直尾翼についている。右を踏めば機種が右を向き、左を踏めば機種が左を向く。ヨーイングの動きを制御するんだ。横を向くの？
Oh, come on.
でも曲がるときは主翼についてるエレロンを使うんでしょ？エルロンだけで旋回した場合、グライダーは正面を向いたままバンクした内側に滑っていくように移動することになる。どういうこと？前を向いたまま斜めに進むってことじゃない？
It's actually you know, you need the yawn much more for high power for the slow powered aircraft, because you know, if you just turn the long wings and the speed isn't enough, you don't really turn into a circle. It just, you know, stays sideways and very slowly goes to turn. But because there's not really much speed behind it, it won't turn. In a high powered aircraft, it probably works. If you're a jet fighter, you can turn like that. Amane nods. Oh, thank you!
そこで同時にラダーを操作してやり、旋回したい方向へ頭を向けてやるんだ。
Like the handlebars on a bicycle. While leaning on a bike, you turn the handlebars in that direction. If you don't, you won't be able to turn well. Using bicycles as an example, learning the bike left or right is like the ailerons, and the handlebars are like the rudder.
なるほど。旋回したいときはエルロンとラダー両方が必要と。
You don't have to, if you want to have a very, very slow turn.
そうだ。けど、それだけじゃまだ不十分だ。
Yeah, you have to Oh, I will be right back. I am back. I'm terrible sorry. That was information to the patch that just came through to Steam. Okay, so I have not installed the patch yet because it might break the save file, so I will do that after recording that stuff. Okay.
旋回中、機体を傾けると揚力が減るので、機体が大きく降下してしまう。なるべく高度を保ったまま旋回するには、操縦桿を横に倒しながら少しだけ後ろに引いてやる必要があるんだ。
When you turn, you must use all of the axes at the same time. Using what and when looks like it's quite intuitive.
以上。飛んでいる時に必要な操作はこれだけだ。
After ending her explanation, Amanda turned on the lights.
結構簡単なのね。
Wouldn't say that.
そうだね。
When I heard unfamiliar words like Alerion and rudder, it sounded complicated. Once I tried it, it was quite easy. Moving the yoke backwards, forwards, left and right, and pressing the left and right pedals, that's all there is to it.
アクロバットでもしない限り難しい操作はほとんどない。グライダー乗りに必要なのは風を見つける能力なんだ。
Find the wind?
どこにどんな風が吹いているか、サーマルはどこにあるのか、そうして見つけた風に上手に乗ることができるかどうか。
So you mean you need knowledge, experience, and intuition?
そんなところだな。ケーキ類の見方はおいおい覚えてもらうとして、まずは慣れることだな。あとはこっちのパソコンの画面で練習してみてくれ。
Okay, got it. I sat down in front of the PC and started practicing immediately. That's a really pretty visual novel. Club activities have finished and we're on the way home.
あーずーい。
Oh, poor Agea. Agea is fanning the chest of her sweat-drenched uniform. She sees me looking. And I can absolutely agree with Agea because I wish my weather would make up its damn mind. It looks, for the last 2 days, it constantly looks, as it would start to be raining. But no, it's cleared up and sunshine suddenly the whole afternoon. It's hot as hell in here. You cannot even imagine how hot it is. Do you see? No, you see not. It's behind my head and you cannot read it at the distance. But I think it's 27 degrees Celsius in here. It's flipping hot.
おお、なに見てんの？
She senses me looking at her chest and asks cheerfully, you should try to be a little more ladylike.
しょうがないじゃん。胸が一番汗かくんだもん。これって女らしいってことじゃない？
Not at all. She asks as she carries on fanning herself. I get a slight feeling that she's trying to show me.
ガレージのエアコン弱くない？お尻が蒸れちゃうんだけど。
Okay. Anyone else want to talk about the body parts with me? Says Couturier as she wriggles her backside around. When it comes to these two, it's spacious and there's no effect of heat insulation from the ceiling. It's like a pre-built, prefabricated building. There's no attic and the heat from the sun transfers directly to the inside. Even if we turn on the air conditioning, it only has half the effect.
ロボット部よりかはマシよ。あっちは人数多いからムシムシするのよね。汗で。
Listening to Agea's story, Couturier makes a face that says, "Ooh." Well, I'm with you, Couturier.
さてと、私こっちだから。
We get to the usual fork in the road where Agea leaves us to go in the other direction.
じゃあね。
Hey, Agea.
Huh?
Do you wanna get some ice cream from the convenience store?
いいけど、なんで急に？
You two were saying how hot it is, and I suddenly felt like eating one. You wanna eat one too? Eat one too, Couturier?
いいけど。
Couturier seems to be thinking about Agea being there when she answers. Okay, let's go. I start walking ahead. In the convenience store parking lot, I bite into the ice cream that I had bought. But you're not supposed to bite in it. Hanging out in front of the convenience store is one of the privileges of being a high school student. Agea got watermelon flavor, Couturier got chocolate chip, and I chose vanilla monaca. I don't know what monaca is.
ハバネさんはカップ派か。棒のアイスは途中で溶けてきて手がベトベトするから好きじゃないの。
Seems like everyone has their own preferences when it comes to ice cream. Well done. You masterfully have explained that all people are different.
ねえ葵、シミュレーターどうだった？
I still don't really understand it. It was pretty tricky.
どこがどう難しいの？
It just feels kind of inconvenient, you know? When I think about doing something, I'm not able to do it quickly. The feeling I get when I move it and the speed, it's quite easy to steer through. It's quite easy to steer though.
エルロンもラダーもエレベーターも風を受けなきゃ効果ないもんね。
That's right. Using the power of the wind to control the position of the aircraft. Of course, if the wind is strong, small movement of the controls have big effect, and vice versa. However, the glider doesn't have an engine. You can't easily speed up or slow down. Well, you can easily by pointing right at the ground. You speed up in no time. If you do one thing, it affects everything else, and that's what makes it difficult. You can't just think about the current situation. You have to act according to what will happen next. It means that experience is needed to ride this thing.
乗ってて気持ちよかった？
Well, to be honest, the simulator didn't feel that good at all. You were watching the screen, right?
なんていうか、すごいもどかしい感じだった。3D のシューティングゲームに比べると圧倒的に爽快感がなかったわね。
Yeah, that's true.
実際に飛ぶのとはやっぱり違うのかな？
I think so. I can imagine that somehow. How would it feel to fly through the sky in that thing, I wonder? It still feels a bit unclear.
いいなあ、私も飛んでみたい。シミュレータならやってみればいいんじゃない？
You can control everything with your hands.
いい、今は葵くんがやるべき時だから。
I'll be patient for now. That's what it seemed she was saying. Without thinking, Agea and I look at each other.
じゃあ、早いとこ翼を作って実際に飛べるようにしないとね。
Yeah. If I can quickly become able to fly by myself, I can take Couturier with me. I might be getting ahead of myself, but it's good to have a target.
チェー、外れか。残念。
Agea finishes eating her ice cream and threw the stick into the trash can. I finished eating too, so I throw my Monaca wrapper into the trash can. Don't hurry, you get brain freeze. Couturier was still eating and hurriedly ate the last of her chocolate chip ice cream. It wasn't as bad as Amane, but the way she ate kind of ruined her pretty girl image. Then she rushed over in the wheelchair and came to throw the cup into the trash can. Does she think that if she doesn't do it quickly, we will leave her behind? While we were away from Couturier, Agea had come up beside me.
気を使ってくれてありがとう。
What do you mean?
とぼけちゃって。私とハバネさんのために誘ってくれたんでしょ
I don't know. Did I? Looking at me as I quietly play dump, Agea smiled cheerfully.
お待たせ。
You didn't need to rush like that.
それじゃあ帰りますか。また明日ね。
Yeah, see ya.
さようなら。
Sayonara. We see Agea off as she waves goodbye. Then I push Couturier's wheelchair along the road back to the dormitory. Extend the little wings which fly in the sky highly. And with that, this question we will answer another day. Thanks so much for watching. I will see you next time. Bye bye.